In this lesson, we're going to be learning how to calculate the product of two or more matrices. Assuming we have matrix A as 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, and 6, and then we have matrix B as 0, 2, 1, and 7. Let's go ahead and find, or rather calculate, A multiplied by B. So before we go ahead, we need to be familiar with rows and columns. So for this matrix, this is the first row, and this is the second row, then this is the third row. So this is the first column, and then this is the second column. Now for matrix B, this is the first column, this is the second column, and this is the first row, here is the second row. So now what's the size of this matrix A and matrix B? So matrix are associated with rows and columns, and then the size of a matrix is determined by these rows and column, and so we write it as row by column. Alright, so for this matrix A, it has, this is the first row, second row, and third row, and then this is the first column and the second column. So defining this by row and column, we can say that this matrix A has 3 rows and 2 columns, because this is row 1, row 2, row 3, and then column 1, column 2. So 3 rows and 2 columns. And then for this matrix B, it has 2 rows by, then it also has 2 columns. So this is a 2 by 2 square matrix. Alright, so another thing is, how do we know that we can multiply these two matrices? Alright, for you to multiply two matrices, the number of columns of the first matrix must equal the number of rows of the second matrix. Alright, the number of columns of the first matrix must equal the number of rows of the second matrix, and then the resulting matrix is going to have the order of, or the size of, 3 by 2. So when we multiply these two matrices, we are going to have a matrix that looks like this: A, B, C, D, E, and F. So this is a matrix of 3 by 2 column. Okay, so let's go ahead and multiply these matrices. Alright, so we're going to use this first row and multiply this first column. So this will form the first entry in the resulting matrix. And then again, we use this first row and multiply this second column, which will form the second entry. It will form the second element of the first row of the resulting matrix. That is second element, second column of the resulting matrix. The same way, we are going to use this 2 and 1 and multiply this first column and second column. And also use this 3 and 6 and multiply this first row and second column. So we have 1 times 0, which is this 1 times 0, then plus, we are going to write 0 times 2 plus 0 times 2. And so we have 1 times 1, which is this 1 times 1, then plus 0 times 7 plus 0 times 7. And so for the second entry of the second row, we have that 2 times 0, which is 2 times 0, then plus 1 times 2. We have 1 times 2. Then for the second element of the second row, we have that 2 times 1, which is 2 times 1 plus 1 times 7. This is 1 times 7. And then lastly, we have 3 times 0, which is 3 times 0 plus 6 times 2. 6 times 2. And then we have 3 times 1, which is 3 times 1 plus 6 times 7 plus 6 times 7. And so this is going to be equal to 1 times 0 is 0 plus 0 times 2 is 0. So 1 times 1 is 1, plus 0 times 7 is 0. So 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 times 7 is 7. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 6 times 7 is 42. And so this is going to give us 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. 0 plus 2 is equal to 2. 0 plus 12 is equal to 12. 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. 3 plus 42 is equal to 45. So as you can see, this resulting matrix has number 1 row, row 2, row 3, column 1 and column 2. So the size of this resulting matrix is 3 by 2, and so which is this 3 by 2 that we have here. Thank you for watching.